salaamaaleykum bisimilah salaamaaleykum bisimilah. salaamaaleykum bisimilah.
bisimilah. loolu dañuy ñu jeexal sax ñu jeexal partie ka boobu ba pare dañuy dugg si Magal waaw moom laa la ma ne écris bu ci jeexalee ba pare léegi nañu dugg nag ci Magal maanaam mën nga koo brosser tuuti rek ci ba waaw léegi nee naa ne écris am na fu ñuy waxee what impact did the final state follow as a whole wala bu ñëwee fii what legacy did he leave to his followers as a result of his exile yooyu nañ jël ñu ngi ci màggal màggal relocation the relocation bismillah
هماني هلا ماهن ما الأبس والسفر صلاة الذي في كل سار وفي
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي سدد لساني نوّر جناني سفي أماني وزد بلاهي بركة برم توبا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. In the name of Allah, the Almighty, in the name of Al-Malik, the King, the true King, the King of mankind, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness Muhammad is his final prophet and messenger. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant the longest and healthiest life to our Khalif Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba Mbacké. It's an honor and a privilege to be again on DAARAY KAMIL TV and to be in Touba. So I'm going to wish happy Magal to all the Murid community in particular and Muslims in general. So welcome to DAARAY KAMIL TV. As we promised, we would have a series of shows to talk about Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba's exile, his work, his teaching, and his legacy. One of them is what we are celebrating today, the Grand Magal of Touba. And for that I have the privilege to welcome again my dear brother and Jorim, colleague and classmate, Mr. Mamu Ban from Jurbel, by the way, who is a member of Manawir Sudur. Welcome to the show and welcome to Touba, Brother Ban. It's an honor to have you here. So we're going straight to get serious. It's not your first time to be here.
My
so
second one.
Your second time.
Yeah.
So we don't need to introduce yourself, but maybe a few words to our viewers before we start the show.
Thank you, Jorin Seydou. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. By the name of Allah, the most merciful, the compassionate, may the Lord give peace and blessing to our Prophet and his companions. May the Lord give blessing and more blessing to our venerate guide, Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba Khadim Rasul, the most servitor of the Prophet, the privileged servitor of the Prophet. Thank you, Seydou. By this occasion, by this broadcasting, we will pray God. May God give a long and healthy life to the General Khalif of Murid, Cheikh Muntaha Bashir. May he achieve his work, his ambition in Islam in general and the Muridism in particular. My warm greetings to all the viewers of DAARAY KAMIL show, and I wish a great Magal of Touba to all Muslims, but the Murid Brotherhood in particular. My greetings to my co-disciples and co-presenter, Mr. Sow Seydou and Mr. Sow Musa. Thank you for this show, for your presentation and for the thing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Brother Ban, for your great interesting introduction. So I'm going to give the floor to Mr. Musa Sow, who's been a member of one of the workers of this place, DAARAY KAMIL. Bismillah.
In the name of God, the Almighty, the Most Merciful, today is a great opportunity really to join here as a guest invited from the show. Really, further of all, let me wish long life and good health to our Khalif, Mbacké Mbacké, and the Khalif of the Biafal and all the Muslim community. So I also give a warm greetings to the members of DAARAY KAMIL, particularly Mustafa Jatara, the headmaster, and all the staff. We greet you, and so this is a wonderful day. Really gathered here to celebrate the Magal Touba. I think a lot also Mr. Saidu for inviting me.
Thank you very much for your availability. I won't be tired of repeating that, your availability. You are always with us, yourself and Mr. Ban. Anytime we need you, whether it's here in DAARAY KAMIL or somewhere else, where your knowledge is needed to talk about Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba, because we are dedicated and we have dedicated ourselves to serving Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba, and the best way to find ourselves is to lose yourself in the service of Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba. So, as I said earlier, we are here to talk about a very important part, a very important mission of Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba. One of the most important part of his mission, which was the exile. First of all, let's talk about the reason why.
The reason.
Yeah, why? Why did the colonial authorities, why did they decide to take Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba into exile?
Thank you, Saidu, for this question. That is interesting. Why Serigne Touba was sent into exile to Gabon? If you would like to know about this, we will go to the bait by Serigne Touba when he says sababu haybati anna Allah arada an anala minhu jaha wa nakuna shafi'an li khawmi wa nakuna hadiman fi dawmi. The aim of my departure into exile is God's aim to elevate my rank, to make me the savior of my people, of my community, and to give me the rank of Hadim Rasul, is a servant of the Prophet, and to make me part of the people of Badr. So that was the aim, the spiritual aim, the spiritual cause of the exile of Serigne Touba to Gabon. So Serigne Touba in Darou Khoudoss, he concluded a pact with the Prophet, and the pact is to be among the companions of the people of Badr, these companions of the Prophet. And God answered Serigne Touba that if he would like to have this grade, he would undergo hardships, he would undergo tests and very difficulties to have this grade. So that is one of the causes of the exile. And it is said in this bait, sababu haybati an Allah arada an anala minhu jaha wa nakuna shafi'an li khawmi wa nakuna hariman fi dawmi. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your clear and concise answer. I'm going to give the same question to Mr. So before we move on to the conditions Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba lived and the itinerary. So let's talk about again the causes of the exile.
So thank you very much. Though Mr. Ban has justly clarified outly, very important causes, spiritual causes, can say it, because this show that these are spiritual causes, and the fact that Serigne Touba wanted to be among the companion of Ahl Badr is also spiritual causes, and he had to undergo hardship, hard working, because at the time the Prophet ﷺ appeared to him in Jubal when he said, "Yaqini ila al-jannati ma laysa yuhmadu, rasulun kareemun baytana dhara ahmadu." So there is another causes, because at the time the French colonizers, they were fighting against Islam, and because their mission was that, you know, to make Christians in here to, you know, evangelize the population. That's why when they heard that there are some Marabu who are maybe leading on Islam, who are fighting to promote Islam, as in Touba was a mujaddid, because he said, Lil Mustafa nawaitu ma yujaddidu sunnatul gharra wa inni Ahmadu. I have the intention to revive Islam, you know, and I am Ahmadu. So that's the reason why when the French colonizers sent him to exile firstly in Saint Louis, passing by Louga, by Jawal, he said, Nafali ghayrillahu qablu findari bi ahli badri usuri kadari. Nafali ghayrillahu findakaru kulla adhan li jarbahu makaru. That show that Srin Touba, you know, was sent there in order to stop Islam. But what he did when first he came over there is to pray to Rakas, you see. And the French colonizer told him that here is not a place to pray. I call you to justify for yourself. But what's the signature of Srin Touba was Qul Wallahu Ahad. He said, God is one. I am Abdullah wa Khadim Rasulihi till the end of my life, of my time.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Brand. As I said, we will briefly talk about the itinerary and the different stages and the reason why he was relocated from one place to the next. For example, he left Mbacké Bari to went to Jewel, and he went to Koki, and then they relocate him from Koki to St. Louis and Dakar. Why did they move Srin Touba this way? What prompted the decision to move him from this place to the next?
Thank you for this question. That is interesting, and I think Mr. Sow had talked about it. That is the spiritual, the temporal cause of the exile, because there were some kings at that time. They were not happy at Srin Touba's situation. They would like to put into troubles with Srin Touba with the colonial power. So they went to see the colonial power, the general governor at that time, who were residing in St. Louis, and they said, Srin Touba and Samba Laobé are preparing an army, and they are ready to attack you. So the colonial power decided to catch Srin Touba from his locality and to send him into exile. And the exile started at Mbacké Bari Jolof in 1905. Okay, and it is said in Jazaw Sakur, Kharajtu yawma sabti samini hasar lil khidmatil muhtari fi shahri Safar. I left my house the 18th of Safar, 30 corresponding with the 10th of August 1895, and that was a Saturday, and that was the beginning of the exile. And this day, it is what we are commemorating, the Magal of Touba. So the Magal of Touba is commemorating the day when Srin Touba left Mbacké Bari Jolof to go into exile. So there was some reason that the colonial power went to Mbacké Bari Jolof and to catch up Srin Touba. So he left Mbacké Bari Jolof and he go to Jewel, and the colonial power left St. Louis to come to Mbacké Bari. So they met in Jewel, and when they met in Jewel, there was a long story, and I think because of time we cannot talk about this, but he passed by Jewel, he passed by Koki, he passed by Lugom, and he arrived in St. Louis. And the 5th of September, as Mr. Sow said, is a memorable day, because that was the day that Srin Touba had prayed in the office of the governor, and they decided to send him to Gabon. And Gabon was not, so the exile was not indispensable, that was necessary, because he had already concluded this with the Prophet, with God, for sure.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Thank you very much for this brief and clear answer regarding the itinerary. So, how about the trials themselves? Because we know sending someone away from his family, from his disciples, from his followers, could be difficult for an ordinary person. But Saint Touba being something we don't know, or someone we don't know, but yet they tried to inflict so many painful treatments. What were the reaction of Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba when he was, having those trials, having those difficulties, having those pains from the authority? What was the strategy he used? What was the strategy he used to take them positively and not to revenge, not using violence? Because he could, but he never resorted to violence. What prompted that decision?
Thank you very much. So, very important questions. So, first of all, let's remember the verses of the Qasida Asiru Ma'al Abrari. He say, Asiru Ma'al Abrari Hina Asiru wa Zanna al-Ida'ani Hunaka Asiru. I work in truth. When the French colonizers thought that I was there a prisoner, and see that he was not there a prisoner, and he said that Qusuri Khallat wal Ahlu Anni Tafarraqat. They have maybe, how can I destroy my house and disperse my families. This among the trials. And so he saw it positively, because he said, Inni uja'adu bil ulumi wat tuqa. I am doing my jihad through the pen, meaning the writing, the pens, and the faith of God. And when he was facing, the Prophet Sallallahu, when the Prophet Sallallahu appealed to him, he told him that you don't have the right to complain anything if you want to have this rank. If you want to be a part, of Badrin, the companion of the Prophet Sallallahu, you don't have the right to complain. If you complain an atom or a bit, you will be decreased. That's really why you don't have this right. He said that I will go straight my way to revivify Islam without any doubt, without any complaining. And his main weapon was his writings. And his main mysterious action was his writings. Because he said, Karamati Khattu Yadi. And there is verses who said that if I did not stop doing the jihad, against the French colonizers with my weapons, they will all die from disease or illness. Yes, and he never complained anything. He had been Abdan Shakuran, a servant who thank God, the Almighty. What justified this is we celebrate the departure. And we have never seen in the world wide somebody who go to his enemies and celebrate this day. As Simsaka said in Wolof, if he didn't go to the exile, we would go all to hell.
If we didn't go to exile, we all would go to hell. Alhamdulillah, and thank you, Bamba. He went and Saint Touba. That was the purpose. One of the purposes is that he didn't want us to go to hell. He wanted us to go to paradise. So, yeah, of course. Now, let's talk about Gabon. What happened exactly in Gabon? Those, let's say, turning point or key events that happened in Gabon during this time of exile.
Thank you, Mr. Sow. That was interesting. Thank you, Said, for this question. Why is the choice of Gabon? Why the colonial power decided to send Saint Touba to Gabon? إخراجه إلى بلاد سارية نائية ونال فيها فوق سمس سارية. That was unpredictable. The departure to Gabon, because that was not something easy. That was a choice, and they thought well about the choice of Gabon. because first the climate in the Gabon, that was a raining season. Gabon was raining 9 months per 12, and that was a dangerous environment because of wild animals, mosquitoes.
They're mosquitoes. They're kind of mosquitoes.
Yes, venomous and poisonous mosquitoes, flies, snakes. If they beat you, you can die with it. And why also the choice of Gabon? Because in Gabon there was no Muslim. There was only people who are in other religions. And there were also French soldiers. So there were many soldiers. And if they want to punish the colonial power, if they wanted to punish at that time somebody, they sent him into exile to Gabon. Because if you go to Gabon, for sure you will die. So that is why they sent Saint Touba to Gabon. So that was the choice. Okay, and as Musa said, inni ujahidu bil qulubi wa bituqa habdan khadiman wa muhaiminu shahidu. Saint Touba used 4 arms to face the colonial power, the soldiers. The first is to being the slave of Allah, Abdullahi, Khadim Rasul, to be the servants of the Prophet, but to use, as Musa said, knowledge and the faith of God. And he was using also what we call the Tawheed. Tawheed was his mashit that he was using to kill, to cut the heads of his enemy. He was also using what we called the Quran as bomb, as cannon. He said it in Ya Jumlatan. If you go into this Hasidah, you see that Saint Touba was using this kind of arms to liquidate his enemies. He was using also the Hadith. The Hadith was as his arrows, the arrows that he was sending to the enemies. And at last, he was using as spies, he was using the tasawwuf. So all these were that what Saint Touba was using to face his enemy. So Gabon was not a favorable, that was a hostile environment for Saint Touba. But this was his response, the Quran, being the slave of God, being the servant of the Prophet, using Hadith, Tawheed, Tasawwuf, and what we call the Quran as arms to face his enemies.
Anything to add? Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
So, really so important, so interesting, so clear, I can say. Maybe I'm just want to have to add something. So, when he went to exile, to Gabon, we all know that over there it's so hard. That's why he said, Rafiqi kitabullahi wal mustafa nabi washabu fil barri hina adu. You know, my companion was, you know, the Quran, the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there are so many, you know, hardship that he faced over there. Like when he passed in Conakry, he passed in Dahomey, in Liberia. If you go to Ayasaminillah, you're going to find all the places that the itinerary, you're going to find it over there. And over there also, they dig how can I say, like a well, and they put fire, a hole, and they put fire and put him inside. And they stop over there, they walk over there dancing, drinking wine, saying that the Marabu is gone, the Marabu is dead. Then said, once they saw him next to the beach writings. That's why Saint Touba warned us by saying that Nabbahtukum ala qaddin bada li qabla an arada muabbada. I challenge or I face it so many hardship before I get this, you know, rewards, before I get this victory. And over there, as you said, there's a wild, you know, forest animals. You see, and the people who are living over there, they don't believe in God. They have any religion, because Saint Touba mentioned in the Khasaid, when he was writing Yad al-Busharati, after the end of the Ramadan, he was wanting to give the Mulkor, but he didn't see anyone, and he wrote Yad al-Busharati at this. When he was praying, like the Korite prayer, there was 2 young girls who was, staying over there next to him, when he do the ruku', he prays, they burst into laughter. They laughed at him because they don't know this religion. You see. And the objective of the French colonizers was to execute him as they did to Samuel Touré. Because Samuel Touré was sent over there. And they killed him. Samuel Lorifar was sent over there. You see. I think there are a lot of things to tell about it.
A lot of things. The hardships. He talked about like the motivation of the colonizers. Of course, they exiled him to Gabon, and they had ideas behind them. But the main ideas was we should put an end to his teaching. We should eliminate him. Liquidate him.
To kill.
They couldn't. Neither could they assassinate him, nor they could put an end to his teaching. So what strategies did Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba use to continue to promote his spirituality and his teaching during this time of exile?
أحسني الله عن من رديت عن المولى تعالى رسي ربا ولي رادهم تهم تران ولي كرمان جنبا أحسني الله عنان من كيد من خلا وساركنا للخل في البحر ما ينبع. So that was the hardship turned into rewards. Every hardship, and that was many hardship, and the most difficult one, the most sensitive that I feel is when he was attached on a tree, and 12 soldiers and their chief, every soldier has a point on the body of Saint Touba, and when the signal was given, they fight on him. And I think that was the motto of the exile. For sure. For sure. That was some strategies. So it is to return to God and to place his confidence in God, and to believe that only God is sufficient to rescue or to put an end to this hardship. So when they were about to fire on Saint Touba, they could not, because their arms go back on them and they died. And so that shows that Saint Touba was protected, and he was protected by God. He was protected by the prophet. And what was Saint Touba using? The worshipping in God only, the onlyness on God. So that is what we call the pure tawhid and the pure tasawwuf he was using during the exile in front of, and he was also writing, praising God, praying all days and night, praying on Salatu Sitta Bimadhi Sitta, praying on the Prophet and praising him every time. So that was the strategies that I think that Saint Touba was using to face the white enemies.
Thank you very, very much. We certainly need to talk more about Saint Touba, but we can never say everything.
Yeah.
We
course.
can come back here every year for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
We will always have something to say. Anyone will come and have something to add.
It's an ocean.
It is an ocean.
Yeah.
So all we can do is to take drop by drop from time to time and share, because anything from Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba cues. There is nothing harmful. So we go straight to our next part of the show, which is about the celebration of the Grand Magal. We understand that, we know that it has a direct connection with the exile. So what is the founding story? Can you come to that, the founding story, Mr. Ban, and after I will go to Mr. So. Yes, what is the founding story? Because when we talk about something, we say we do this every year. There should be a story. There should be the causes. there should be a founding story. What is the founding story of the Grand Magal of Touba? We understand that it has something to do with the exile, but what exactly motivated the celebration of the Grand Magal?
Okay, before answering this question, that is important to know when Saint Touba said the return, when he asked God that make my return a triumph and a blessing and a satisfaction for my people. So make my return, the return of my exile a triumph for Islam, a satisfaction for my people, a victory, and that I think that was a victory. The founder, the origin of the Magal of Touba, we went back to 1921. That was in Jurbel, when one day Saint Touba got a gift that was a goat, a female goat from a person named Serigne Mohamed Bousso, and he takes a goat and he gave it to Serigne Moulay Bousso, and he said, I would like you to exchange this goat for a sheep. Serigne Moulay Bousso went somewhere and he exchanged this goat with a sheep, and when he come back to Saint Touba said, okay, you keep it and you wait for me. Okay, that was the 18th of Safar, 1921. That day, that was a Tuesday, I think. Serigne Touba called Serigne Moulay Bousso and said, Serigne Moulay to kill the sheep and to give the mutton to Sokhna Anta Bale Bousso and Sokhna Aminata Bousso for them to prepare meals for the talibés, the disciples who were there. And after they eat the delicious meal, Saint Touba gathered all the disciples and he told them, this day is a day when I got all my favor, when I got my rewards. All the hardships are finished, all the hardships are over. So God said me to thank. So that is a day of thanksgiving, the Magal of Touba.
Anything ahead will be better.
Everything. And he said, whoever's satisfaction is mine, if these days come on earth, you celebrate this day by killing a camel, by killing a chicken from a chicken to a camel, from a chicken to a camel. And that was the bernde, as we know, during the Magal of Touba. And the disciples, they were happy at the time, and they said in Wolof, Tabaski what? They are celebrating another Tabaski. And Saint Touba called them again and say, I don't want to add something in the Sunnah, because I am here to renew the Sunnah. So I do not want to add something or to remove something. So don't say a Tabaskiwat, but you say it a Magal. So the word Magal, it was first pronounced by Saint Touba in 1921, and that was the day that we first celebrate. And I think this year is 130th edition of the celebration of the great Magal of Touba.
Mashallah. You can go straight to the recommendations, because we have only 10 minutes left, right? 10 minutes left. Yeah. So you go straight to the
recommendations.
What Saint Touba exactly said? When did they comes? Do this, do that. So what were those recommendations? Because I'm sure the Njobian are thinking it's only about food.
Yeah.
Or some of the sailors here are thinking it's only about food. It's not only about food. What did Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba exactly recommend?
As he recommended every event, tahsimuhu bi sunnati yaquduna lil jannati. We celebrated through the sunnah of the prophets. We must know that when Murid people or Islam peoples are gathering, first of all, we must read the Quran.
Sure.
We must read the Hasaid of Serigne Touba.
Sure.
And after comes the bernde. If the time of prayer comes, You stop everything you are doing and you go to pray. So it is not only about bernde or only about eating or only about drinking, but we must think of God, because the man who is ordering us to do this great Magal of Touba, everything for him was to pray God and to respect his recommendations. So reading the Quran, reading the Hasaid, doing zikrs, eating meals, and thanking, because it is a Thanksgiving event, a Thanksgiving celebration.
MashaAllah. Thank you very much, Mr. Ban. You've, as always, very great as always. I think we have like 5 or 6 minutes. Huh?
Okay.
We have how many minutes left? 5, right?
Yeah.
You don't talk about the founding story, but we know that there have been evolutions, right? Because when Touba was alive, they used to celebrate the Magal of Touba where they are. Like not everybody in Touba to do it together, but anyone stays in their respective cities to celebrate it. What made that change? What decision make people come to celebrate in Touba, and why and who?
Thank you a lot for this question, and I do really appreciate the clarification of Mr. Ban. It is really important. So, what makes this, gathering in Touba? It was because of Saint Mbacké. It was in 1945 or 1949. Yes, 49, when he called whoever believe in God, in the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, whoever is a disciple or Muslim should come and celebrate the Magal here in Touba. But the way they celebrate it, at the time in Touba, maybe may differ a little bit because of the number of, persons. Because at the time, there was justly the disciple who was in Jurbel used to celebrate it with the Sheikh. Those, they had the order to celebrate it in their respected town or villages. But, we see that nowadays, as the mission is universal, as we see everywhere, murids are around the world, around America, around the US. So that's why when we call the Magal, there are many people converging here to come and celebrate it in the way of Sunnah, as he said, by feeding people, by reading the Quran, by reading the Qasaid, you see, but in the way of Thanksgiving. Even if you don't have what to eat or what to give or what to read, you have just go to the place and they prepare food and they give you. You will have the same reward, and you eat well as the job and they're doing.
Sure.
Okay, so how can I say? The evolution also of the world has been maybe a cause that the celebration would be organized here in Touba, because as I emphasized just now, there are many disciples around the world. Maybe the most important, as Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, is to come in Touba to celebrate it together.
Celebrate it together, mashallah, and alhamdulillah, we are part of those who get the privilege to celebrate it in this holy city, which is Touba. But everybody doesn't have the same information. Like someone who comes to celebrate the Magal for the first time, what should you suggest to someone who comes here for the first time to take part in this great celebration? What would you advise or suggest that person?
Okay, for sure, as any Muslim, when you do something, you must know what Islam recommends you to do.
Yeah.
If you are a murid and you want to celebrate the Magal, you must know first what are the origin of the Magal, why we celebrate the Magal, who recommended us to celebrate the Magal, how did he recommend us to celebrate the Magal, and what are the advantages, the benefits, what are the rewards that we are expecting from celebrating the Magal. So if you are somebody who come for the first time in Touba, you must respect the rules that are settled in this holy town, and the rules is following the Sunnah. So that is
following the Sunnah.
The only suggestions that I have.
We have only 2 minutes left, so I will let you give your final, say your last word or message to the people who come in Touba to celebrate the Magal, and those who couldn't make it also, because they are also part of the celebration. Those who couldn't make it to Touba, but they are murid and they feel the joy we feel right now. What is your message for them?
Serigne Touba is universal. His benedictions, his blessings, his rewards is not for murid people. It is not for Islamic people, but it is for the whole humanity, because he is universal, and the reward that he got is for everybody. And when he is praying for everybody. So if you are not a murid or you are not a Muslim, you must think of Serigne Touba. If you are a Muslim, you must celebrate the Magal, because Serigne Touba is the man of Islam, and he is a mujaddid, and he called for Thanksgiving. He called for Thanksgiving. So thank you, Seydou, because I think time is up. And I thank you for giving us, as Musa said last time on Facebook, on a post, giving us this chance, giving us this opportunity to be in front of cameras, in front of all the words, to try to tell the story of Serigne Touba in English, because there are many people who don't understand English as I want, and they want to join Islam. And by knowing the story of Serigne Touba, surely they will join Islam. So thank you for this opportunity. And yes, my supporters. So today I come with my students from Diourbel, and Sokhna Awa Bousso, the mother of Serigne Fallou, Sokhna Diarra, the mother of Serigne Touba, and Solange is not a Muslim, but she is a Christian. And that shows that Serigne Touba is universal. So that is my last word. Thank you.
Your last word.
So thank you a lot. So seeing that we are running out of time, so my last word is really to make people know that here we are in a holy city. As Serigne Touba said, Touba wa khusna ma'ab. We have just to respect the rules. We have just to behave as a good Muslim, to follow the teaching of Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Maybe to make solidarity, helping people, like following the good rules, something like this. I do really appreciate this show. I do think a lot, Mr. Ban, really for being here. I think a lot also my best president, and giving me the and Mr. Gare and all the guys for giving the opportunities, maybe to have the dariness. To face the camera, I can say.
Thank you.
I think a lot. My supporter, the students who come in, follow us.
They are band supporters.
We think a lot for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you also our viewers and the staff of DAARAY KAMIL TV for giving us this opportunity once more again, because not the first time they give us this opportunity. So thank you again and again for giving us the opportunity to share and to do what we love the most, which is talking about Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba in our favorite language, is English, right? طويلنا عمرنا سهلنا بدنا وهبنا رشد والتوفيق يا الله وأولنا يا ربنا حسن الختام عند الممات وهذا يوم القيامة. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant the longest and healthiest life to our Khalif Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba Mbacké. May the sun of our love for Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba never set. jërëjëf Serigne Touba.
فلاهي بكوني عبد ربي خديمه